Hi, thank you guys so much for tuning in to our March 2021 book launch. My name's Jim Howard. I'm the publisher for Morgan James Publishing, and I am so excited today because today I get to introduce you to one of our amazing authors, Lindsay Schuling Cooper. And Lindsay is the author of Kindred Faith, How God Works in the Lives of His People. Lindsay, thank you for taking the time today to join us.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to tell you all about my book and my experiences.
That is amazing. And we're excited to hear all about it. So I guess the first question that could come up is this is a great book, but how did you come up with your idea?
so I grew up in a Christian home and I knew the stories from the Bible, Noah, Abraham, Joseph. I knew all these stories, but as an adult, I didn't really understand or know the chronological order of everything. Typically, we go to church on Sundays and that's that. That's how I was. So in December of 2014, I thought I want to come up with a New Year's resolution that I'm going to stick with. And I never do New Year's resolutions ever.
I never stick.
So what's that?
I never stick to them.
No, absolutely. So I thought I'm going to come up with something I'm going to stick to. What's it going to be? And I thought, you know what? I want to know more about the Bible. So I made a commitment to read the Bible from beginning to end, starting in January. And I read every day and I loved it. And I was amazed at how passionate I was about it. And in February, I remember I prayed, Lord, use me to do your works. And I prayed it over and over. And then soon after, I got an idea that I was to go out and interview people and ask them, what can you say about God and how has he worked in your life, changed your life? And then I was to photograph them. I was supposed to get their portrait. And I knew I was going to do this and there was no other, it was just the way it was going to be. And I had to teach summer school in June. So I was going to take July and August to do this. And at first I thought, you know what, I'm going to do about 50 people. We'll see how this goes. But what ended up happening was I ended up working with 120 people. And it's just amazing how he orchestrated everything. And so I interviewed people from all walks of life. I interviewed mothers, owners, war veterans, drug dealers, alcoholics. These were all former. Again, they're not that anymore. But yeah, all ages, anywhere from 93 to 5 years old. And it was amazing and it changed my life. Um, but again, the Bible is what changed my life first. I was just his messenger and his journalist. So that's a little bit about it. So I ended up gathering all these people, and in the book, I also came up with their photographs. So every photograph is unique, uh, and it's just amazing because I never had a bad photograph. Like we'd meet at Perkins, and I came up with this. Like like he just like showed me exactly how to photograph and where. So all the photos are in black and white, and that's I knew that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to make them in black and white. So yeah, and sometimes we were at people's homes and coffee shops, and yeah, it was great. It's very neat.
Wow. And that's one of the things I just absolutely love about your book is the collection of people and connecting with being able to connect with different people, different walks of life, different backgrounds, different circumstances and situation, but
Yeah.
still seeing how, as your title says, the kindred faith, what
Mm-hmm.
connects us all.
Mm-hmm.
And that was amazing, even to be able to see those faces and see who we were meeting for the very first time. So I can absolutely see how the whole thing is orchestrated out, but how did you know who to interview?
Sure. So I knew I wanted to start with some people from my church. It was a church of about 100 people. So I started with some people there. But then I felt like something wasn't right. Something was missing because I felt like this was kind of for one audience in a way, if that makes sense. I just felt like I needed to reach out and find people who had really gone through big time journeys. And those would be people who had a lot of tragedy in their life, because I wanted to show how God resurrected people and how he just literally grabbed them and just saved them.
Mm.
Because a lot of these people should be dead, because some of these people had such horrible experiences, but they found God and their lives were changed.
Mm.
So I found more groups of different types of people by just talking to people. I talked to my uncle who works at the Polk County Jail, and he said, "You should meet with so and so." And so I drove so many miles that summer and I called so many people. So I went to, different locations where there was a lot of poverty. I went to the jail. I met strangers in coffee shops because I just trusted the Lord.
Mm.
Like, if he's saying, I want you to reach out to other groups of people, okay, I'll do it. Yeah. So that's how I found people, was it was just tons of word of mouth. um, it was really cool because I walked into the jail at one point and I said, "Hey, this is what I'm doing." And then she's like, "I'll get my supervisor, but I've got a great story to share." And then I interviewed her, and now she's a very good friend of mine, and then she's like, "Well, you should talk to so and so." And I'm like, "Yes, let's do it."
That's
So, yeah, that's kind of how it worked out with interviewing people.
it's so cool when you have people who engage in that way and then introduce you into people that just were completely unexpected. And that leads me into my, I think, my next question, which is, when we were starting to work together through Morgan James and going through the book and putting everything together, there were a lot of aha moments for me as I was looking through the book itself. And what about with you? I can't imagine you spoke to all these people and did all these interviews and put this incredible book together. There had to be some surprising moments that popped up for you. So can you tell me anything that's surprising that happened that you were just completely unaware of?
Yeah, absolutely. So I went in this as a journalist, and I think a little bit about Lee Strobel. We went in, we
Mm.
had a mission, and what surprised me the most was how the stories affected me. Like, there were stories that were told to me that I had to sit with for several days because I just could not believe the power, how God had worked through these people. And it just was mind boggling. So that's one thing that really surprised me, was just the impact that the stories had on me, which caused a domino effect, which made my faith just soar and boom.
Mm.
It was amazing. People. So that was something that was really amazing to me, was just the aspect of my faith. Because my Irene, I interviewed Irene. She was in her house, she was sitting on her couch, and all of a sudden she had an urge to go to the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom. While she's in the bathroom, there's a drive-by shooting that
Mm.
goes by, hits her house. The place where she had been sitting was a bullet hole.
Wow.
Like, how could you not believe in God after something like that, and just how people are so joyful. One of the ladies, her son was murdered, and I went to the funeral, and she was joyful
Mm.
because she knew that she was going to see her son again someday. she was obviously devastated of what had happened, but there's just a light in her. And so just how, yeah, all these things about how people were so faithful and how they were changed and just how they allowed God to work through them, that changed me. And I today am incredibly on fire for the Lord. I read my Bible every day. I can't stop reading books. I've read the book of Revelation probably 25 times, and I've researched and researched it because I just want to understand God.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to know him and just how he does things, and just the miracle of Jesus and how he died for us. Like, what? Because he loves us. He loves us so much. He loves you and me and everybody out there. And he just wants to have a relationship with us. So there's so many beautiful stories that just talks about the relationship with Jesus and how, how they're just amazed at how he loves them, how God loves them.
Yeah.
So it's been a great journey, and I continue to read. I'm debating about buying another bookshelf. I might, because I don't want to get rid of any of my books.
That's right. That's right. Never get rid of your books.
Yeah.
Well, your book, and you said it so well. It just displays God's love in so many beautiful ways. And what an incredible message. So if people are watching this right now, or maybe they've got a copy of the book, maybe they've already got their copy and they're into it, but how can people connect with you? What's the best way for them to reach out outside the book and find out more?
So I would just tell you guys, I typically show little snippets of people's stories on Facebook. So if you write in my name on Facebook, I can definitely invite you and you can view my pages. So that's been neat, sharing snippets and pictures of the people that are in it. So that's one thing I will encourage you to do. Also through email is a very good way too, if you have questions or comments. It's just going to be Lindsay Schuling at yahoo.com. So I don't have my other married name on there, but those are the two best ways I would say you can connect with me. And I would love to obviously talk to you about the book, especially I would love to hear more stories. If you have a personal story, I would love to hear it. So please do.
Outstanding. Well, thank you so much, Lindsay. And I encourage all of you out there who are watching this to get a copy of this book. I can promise you, just by going through and reading the book, you're going to be introduced to people that you're going to connect with, but you're also going to be introduced to some people that will blow your mind, that they share the same connection to the Creator, to God, to Christ that you have. And if you're going through something, what an amazing book to read, to see other people's journey that lead all to the same place. And that's God's love. So Lindsay, thank you so much for writing the book and sharing all of these amazing stories with us, and joining us today to talk about it with everyone who's watching today.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. And you guys can get a copy of Lindsay's book everywhere that books are sold. And if you need more information, you can go to morganjamesbooklaunch.com, and we'll have some information there that you can find out more about Lindsay and her book as well. So thank you guys for watching today. I hope you all go grab a copy of this book, and we'll see you on our next one.